Hey guys, so I'm standing, I think the corner of the property is right in that tree area, the southwest corner, and then it wraps around this way. I'm gonna walk this frontage and then check where I'm located using that hunting app that identifies the properties out here. But as you can see, as I walk up here, it's the paved road. The road goes up the hill there. And the frontage here looks like it's sitting kind of uphill. I'm gonna get by this telephone pole and then take another look-see on my app. Okay, that was the telephone I was walking to, and that was about halfway. And you can see where my truck's at through the brush there. That road winds up the side of this hill. And you can see the rise on that corner. I think that's your property. It would be on this side of that road that you can see out there in the distance. And I'm guessing that right about in that area, yeah, right about in that area, right over there, I think it starts heading towards the west there, and that whole drainage area in there is your property, along with that rise on that hill. And I'm pretty close to standing about 30 yards from that telephone pole. And I'm pretty sure I'm on the northwest corner of this property, according to the GPS and that X Hunt app. So it would go, your property line would go straight that way when it hits that rise. And it's hard to tell here, but I'm gonna say this area right there where that tree is, and then takes a 45 or so and goes up, that's where it makes that angle, and then goes up towards, gosh, I want to say that area right there. And again, I'm just guessing standing here. But here's the important part, is that wherever your approach is, if you were going to build a house on that knoll area, wherever you're at, you're going to cross this drainage area, and there's no way not to get to that. I mean, that's the place that you'd build a house, and it's not like it's a full-fledged wash, but it's a low area and it's going to drain. Walk down here a little bit. So the edge of the road, that's I don't know, 15-20 feet drop right there. That's a sandy bottom. So that's looking up I don't want to call it a canyon, but the draw right there towards that house. There's a house back in there. All that water, when it rains here, draws down this way. And there's even a culvert under this road, and it's a pretty big culvert, 48, maybe even 60 inches. Now 48 for sure. You can see it right there. So That has, they put that in there for a reason. There's a potential for a lot of water to flow off this property. So, and then it drains from this direction. That goes up around that knoll, heading northeast. So, not that you can't do some major earth moving and make yourself a ingress egress, but and I don't know. There's this part of the property too that you probably could put a house on. You're right on the road though, and I think you guys wanted to be off a bit back in that area. Anyways, I will I'll travel up that road and see if I can't catch the other corner. Okay, I'm on the far knoll that I was standing over there by that telephone pole. And that's the other knoll area that we were looking at from across the way. And this is the one where I parked at, so to speak. I just drove up the hill on that road. So I'm just gonna kind of walk over here to the edge. I mean, you could roll this down and make a lower, flatter area to make a house pad off of, and you're off the road and you're higher than the rest of your property looking down. And I'm about halfway up the property, so I think, you know, it's up there kind of where I was pointing at before, but I'm gonna drive over there in a minute. But as you can see, you're about, make sure I don't fall or step in cactus here. You're still about 20, 25 feet off of that lower area. But as you can see that this draw here, which is your property, is still, that's the water, that's where the water route goes. And then it collects down over there in that area, goes across the road. But this whole knoll right here, you could, like I said, grade out, push out, and make this part of your pad. This is a higher area, and you could always dig a channel. You can see over there against that knoll, it's kind of sandy, and that's where the majority of the water probably gathers and travels. There's always stuff that you can do if you really, you know, want to put the money to it. And I think your property still rides on the north side of that road. Now I think that road takes off into somebody else's. Up here, the lines are pretty straight, but I'll get to that far northeast corner, so to speak, or north southeast corner, whatever it is. So I'm off of your property, or off of the subject property here. So this knoll right here, I think it down there on the other side of that tree, there's a stake, and then it takes off and it skirts the bottom of this knoll, and then it takes in that low area. It skirts the beginning of this knoll, and I'm guessing right over there about where that saguaro cactus is would be the far northeast corner. Again, to give you reference, I was over at that telephone pole. So basically straight across that lower area, on top of that hill, across that lower area would be your property, possibly to that below on the lower end over in that drainage area off of that cactus, that saguaro. That's my guesstimate. So a lot of lowland. Couple of areas where you could, build out a house, but it's low.